In America today, the number of guns compared to the number of citizens are staggering. Around 300 million guns are owned by Americans today, but the question remains, is the amount of firearms available a good or a bad thing for gun control? Are the amount of guns really making the people more safe, or are they causing more problems? With this being an election year, gun control is one topic that has not been dropped and will continue to be a pressing matter as we look for new ways to change laws and regulations. Using technology, we can come together and properly solve this issue for every American. We had the chance to sit down with Officer Michael Tominelli of the Westport Police Department, who offered his insight into a few new of the smart gun technologies.
So one of the smart gun technologies is the key input into the chamber to unlock it or something, and that's impractical. Your fine motor skills are shot. There's no way that you're going to be able to, in a split second that it takes to unlock the chamber in order to chamber around and get one off. The fingerprint scanner theoretically would be able to work, but it's just like a cell phone where if you don't get it on the first try, you're going to have to keep trying until you get it, and then there's going to be a lock mechanism where if you try X amount of times and don't get it, it'll lock you out indefinitely. And RFID, I don't know enough about it to elaborate on it, but that seems like something that would probably be more effective than the other two options.
President Obama has started talking about implementing gun control with technology by talking about biometric gun locks, either internally or externally, that would disable a gun from firing if the person is not registered to the gun. This can cut down the amount of gun thefts because the firearms won't work without the person registered to it and can cut down on accidental discharges. But there are fears about the technology breaking and people being able to use the firearms still or not being able to use them at all in a time of need.
In a few years, I feel like it'd be more acceptable for public use, but I don't think it would be ever acceptable for private use or for the use of people who are in the line of duty or it's their job where they're required to carry a firearm.
All of these fears of technology failing are rational, seeing as the technology can create a life or death situation, but it can also prevent one from happening in the first place. And knowing that there are many people out there that wish a small mistake didn't create a life-changing situation.
We're under a new president almost, and he may or may not have stricter gun laws, but I feel like there should be stricter gun laws in every state, especially the southern states.
Smart gun technology is currently in a developmental phase, but can be helpful for civilians that don't need to react to a split-second decision like a police officer. Thank you for joining us today, and back to the studio.